Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Welcome to the special class on Radharani's pastimes. Today we'll be talking about part 17 of the series. So I hope you are enjoying this whole series of pastimes. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Jayapataka Swaminiti Namine. Namah Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Tarine. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. So as we all know, Radharani and Krishna were separated for 100 years on this planet. She got the curse from Sridham when in the Goloka Vrindavan. And so Krishna left for Mathura, and at the age of 25, he left for Dwaraka. That's where he lived for more than 100 years. That was the separation time. But ultimately, when the separation time was over, they met again. Radha and Krishna met again. And how they met, where they met, that's the pastime today. So when Krishna was in Dwaraka, he arranged one Ashwamedha Yagna. Ashwamedha is where a horse is decorated, very, very beautiful horse. The horse cannot be something ordinary. He had all the symptoms given. How should be his head? How should his tail? What height? What should be the proportion of his legs? Everything is perfectly, has to be matched. And then this horse is let go with a plaque on his, hung on his neck, which says that this horse belongs to so and so. So please contribute toward this fire sacrifice yagya. And if you cannot contribute, then you have to fight the army which was going along with the horse. If you don't accept the sovereignty of the king, then there has to be a war, battle. And then if you can defeat that army, then you can take the horse and everything will stop. Because ultimately the fire sacrifice starts only when the horse goes back after traveling everywhere. So this was arranged, and Aniruddha, Krishna's son, was sent along with this horse and an army of Yadus. So they are all going from place to place and, collecting and also inviting people. There are two things. It's not only collecting, it's inviting everybody to join this fire sacrifice. Fire sacrifice generally is done for the welfare of everybody, for the rainfall and for grains and everything. So as this was going on, at one point, there is a king Bilvala who is on a small island, which is it's called Panchajanya. The island name is Panchajanya, and this is about 30 yojanas from Kapila Muni's ashram. We have Kapila Muni today with us in Ganga Sagar, and it's in the middle of the sea. 30 yojana means one yojana is 8 miles, about 240 miles. But the horse was stolen at Prayag, Prayag is where Ganga and Yamuna they meet. It's in a province called Uttar Pradesh in India. So when they were camping there, this king Bilwala, he stole the horse. So naturally, when they came to know, Aniruddha rushed to this Panchajanya. And then they had a big battle there, This was a small king, but he was a very powerful king. And he had, he was known for fighting like that, He was famous. And the other kings had a lot of hope that if he wins, then they don't have to pay to Dwarka, king of Dwarka, Krishna. So as the battle was going on, Aniruddha thought to himself that it's not enough. My army is a small army. Because they were not expecting any resistance, they're not a big army going. So he immediately summoned, prayed, and begged Krishna to come and help. So immediately when Krishna came to know, he rushed to the place. And then Krishna defeated Bilwala. And when others came to know that Bilwala has been defeated, so they gave up, they said, okay, no point in now fighting. So the horse had a very smooth travel. Wherever he was going, he was received well, and they were giving money and everything, like whatever was needed. So like that, the horse went, Krishna decided to go towards the west side, which is like Vrindavan, northwest. So this horse started going from this place to that place, and ultimately, after traveling different places, they entered Vrajamandala. Vrajamandala is the one we travel every year. We go, a lot of devotees go, especially during Kartik. They do this parikram, 84 miles. It's called 84 crores ki parikrama, 84 miles of walking, and of course nowadays going by bus and car and whatever you have. So the horse was, he went around Vrindavan, and then he was taking rest under a tamala tree. So all these cowherd boys, the gopas, they became curious. What is this? Who is this horse? From where it has come? So Sudama is the leader of these cowherd boys. So they'll go near the horse, and Sudama sees that it's a beautiful horse. So he said, let us take this horse to Nanda Maharaj. So he ties the horse with a rope, which he is using for tying the cows. And so they said, we don't know anything, but Nanda Maharaj should know. He's a learned man, he'll know who is this horse, from where it has come and all that. So they brought the horse to Nanda Maharaj. And when Nanda Maharaj saw the horse, he was also very happy to see the horse. Anybody who sees that kind of a horse, and if you are a horse lover, animal lover, then you will naturally love it more. So Nanda Maharaj took that plaque, there's a sort of a letter in that. And he read that letter. And the letter said that this horse belongs to King Ugrasena. Ugrasena is, Kamsa's father, Devaki's father. And so immediately Nanda Maharaj thought that, it belongs to Ugrasena Maharaj. So this must be from Krishna. And he said, Aniruddha is the one I am told that he is looking after the army these days. So he should come. So this is a nice opportunity for me to see him. So he was just waiting for things to happen and see what's going on. Because if the horse is there, then the army must be also there. So all these army, Krishna is with them. So they visited different places. Nayapalli Tirtha, Mithila, Ayodhya, Brahasmati, Kanyakubja, Yamuna, Balaram Tirtha, and Mathura. These all places, all they come before Vrindavan. And then he entered Vrindavan. So from Vrindavan, they went to Nandagram. That's where Nanda Maharaj lives. So he wanted to meet his father, Nanda Maharaj, and mother. Otherwise, Krishna had not come this side at all. Once he left Vrindavan at the age of about 12, he never came back. So Krishna was on the chariot. So to let everybody know that they have come, he took his conch shell and blew it. And when he blew it, all sorts of drums and bugles and everybody, kartals and mridangas, and everybody started making a big noise. And it's reverberating throughout the whole Vrindavan. And then Krishna sent an decorated elephant to Nanda Maharaj. So Uddhava, Yadavas, everybody was, just, they're all watching, waiting for Nanda Maharaj. And Nanda Maharaj appeared. Actually, before even appearing, Nanda Maharaj's right side was, trembling, twitching. And it says that, if the right side is twitching, then and the right eye starts flickering, then it's a very good sign. You're going to hear something very auspicious. So Nanda Maharaj thought, okay, this is a chance to maybe I'm so lucky I will see Aniruddha. And then if I'm really lucky, then maybe I'll see Krishna. He says, if I see him, I will donate 100,000 decorated cows to Brahmanas. Well decorated cows, 100,000. I mean 100,000, yes. So he was thinking like this, and suddenly he received a message that Krishna has come. So he became very joyous, started shouting, "Oh Krishna, Krishna! Oh my God, how fortunate I am! Krishna has come after 100 years." So he started running for Krishna. And as he's running, he's crying and he's saying, "Krishna, where are you? I cannot live without you even for a moment now. I must see you. Why so much separation?" Like you can imagine a situation of a person. So when they came face to face, Krishna sees his father. He could not also hold back his tears. So he immediately paid a dandavat to Nanda Maharaj. Nanda Maharaj just picked him up and he hugged him so tight and crying. Both Krishna is crying and Nanda Maharaj is crying and all the Gopas are crying and everybody there, everybody is crying only. Crying tears of joy. It was like, a lottery for them. So nobody is able to stop crying, it's like overwhelming situation. And the whole world, all the devatas and devis, they are also seeing that, and they are also happy to see this whole thing. So then Krishna somehow controlled his emotions. And then he pacified everybody and the Gopas and everybody, All his friends are there actually. And then there is a description of Krishna's beauty. We have heard this, but we're never tired of hearing that. Krishna in his rain-bearing cloud complexion, body decorated with sandalwood paste, his Vajayanti mala, his flute, his peacock feather, everything is there. Although he's a king now, he doesn't need that, but that's his identity. So millions of cupids could not defeat his beauty. He's like that, yellow dress. And he's just, he's now almost 130 odd years old, but he's just still 16-year-old or even younger, ever fresh. That is one quality of Krishna. We have discussed that. So all the Brajavasis are, drinking the nectar of Krishna's beauty. Everybody lost their senses. Everybody stunned to see Krishna. So finally, everybody comes to senses, external senses. And then Nanda Maharaj takes Krishna's hand and takes him to his palace. And see the etiquette, the tradition. In all this, the ladies are not there. Only the men come out and then the ladies are still at the home, waiting. When they come to here, naturally they are so anxious. And then they enter and Krishna sees his mother, Yashoda. And he just cannot control anymore. He just cries loudly. Oh, Ma, oh, mother, And mother also sees Krishna. She also becomes more overwhelmed than even Krishna, So Krishna goes and pays his obeisances. And the mother embraces him, hugs him, and puts him on her lap. Start tingling him and kissing him, and this is how the mothers do. And then Krishna gets up. And all the Brajavasis, start talking to Krishna. How are you? What happened? All the friendly talk. They met after such a long time. So this was the scene. Then Aniruddha set up some tents on Yamuna, bank of Yamuna, so that everybody can stay there. In Mahavan, there are 12 ones forests in Vrindavan, around Vrindavan. One of them is Mahavan. And then Nanda Maharaj arranged a very opulent feast for everybody. So still Radharani is not there in the picture. In the evening, Radharani had arranged to meet Krishna, because she came to know. So they arranged a meeting of Krishna and Radha in a banana garden. Banana garden is supposed to be very cool breeze, because of the large leaves of the banana plant, very cooling. Ever since Krishna has left, Radharani was always in distress, in separation. She was always suffering and always waiting for Krishna to come back. And when she came to know that Krishna is waiting for her, Krishna had already arrived in the banana garden. So she immediately started going toward that with all her sakhis. And when she saw Krishna, she first washed his lotus feet, offered him a nice asana, jeweled asana, and then started talking to him. And she's also 100 and odd years old now. But when the beauty is that when Krishna is there, then everybody is in youth form. It's not that only Krishna is in youth form. So when she saw Krishna, naturally all her sufferings had vanished. It's said that when Krishna was not there, Radharani never slept on a bed, like she was always sleeping on the floor. And she was never wearing any, embroidered or this or that, no ornaments, no expensive clothing. And she never smiled. That's something, You imagine somebody not smiling for 100 years. That shows the true love between Radha and Krishna. Now, naturally, when she sees Krishna, her life is returned. Her Madana Mohana, the one who attracts Cupid, is there. And she was so overwhelmed. She could not even speak. She wanted to say something, but her voice was getting choked. But somehow she wanted to speak to him after such a long time. So she said, "Oh, Rishikesha, oh Gokulapati, please tell me, why did you go to Dwarka? Why did you leave us here, Gokula Mathura? We are, our life, you have taken our life with you. 1 hour," she said, "1 moment looked like 1 yuga for me, 1 millennium. 1 hour looked like Manvantara. Manvantara is, one period of 1 Manu. In Brahma's 1 day, there are 7 Manus, 14 years each. And then he says 1 day, or like 1 day of Brahma. Like, we know how long is Brahma's day. So she says, why I am so unlucky? What did I do to have this kind of separation? I could not see your lotus feet. I could not serve. I could not cook for you. I could not see your smiling face. How much more you want to hear from me? My sad story, you want to hear more from me? 100 years I've been waiting. By Yogamaya, Radharani is made to forget the curse of Sridham, that she will be separated from Krishna for 100 years. Krishna knows it. So after talking like this, Radharani started sobbing, crying loudly. So Krishna just held her in his arms and started pacifying him with very sweet words. He said, "Oh Radha, please do not lament like this. It will affect you. It will affect your body. Why you are crying like this. Now I'm here anyway. I'll tell you, when time comes, I will tell you why all this happened." So he said, "Don't worry, now I'm here. And our place is not here. Our place is not on this planet Earth. Our place is in Goloka Vrindavan. That's our home. So I will take you there. I will arrange for you to go there, back. And then you can take all your gopis with you, all the sakhis with you." So naturally, Radharani was very happy. and she called all the Sakhis, and then they did an Arati of Krishna. And then, just like Lakshmi Devi worships Lord Vishnu. So after the worship, so then Radharani requested Krishna, would you come with me to our Rasa dance place, where we have Nidhivan. Although, see, this is the beauty. Although Rasa dance is taking place every day, every time, like there, it's a Nitya, eternal. But still, in their pastimes, in their Leela, Radha and Krishna behave as if, everything's new, nothing is happening. They don't know much about it. And they show surprise, they show everything. So, thank you very much. I'd like to stop here. Next time we will see how they meet at Siddhashram, and then how Radharani goes back to Goloka Vrindavan. So, Srimati Radharani ki jai. Thank you very much. If you have any questions or comments, please go ahead. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, Dandavad Pranams.
Hare Krishna, Mother.
Very, very wonderful pastimes, Prabhuji. Last week I couldn't stop laughing, but this time it is really very overwhelming pastime. Very, very wonderful, Prabhuji. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. Kaustav Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, Hare Krishna. I'm sorry to say, but this is the first Radharani pastime class that I've attended.
Oh.
And sorry. And I was just curious, where are you getting these stories from?
These are from books, different places. I will reveal that at the end of the series.
Oh, okay, thank you. Because I'm sure the wife would like him, but she's not here all the time. So.
Oh yeah.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Hare Krishna.